Hi guys, welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please, if you are new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. We do everything City, past and present here on these little vlogs, so I do try and inform and entertain, and there's some links on screen as well for Facebook and Twitter where I do post loads of City stuff. So if you follow a friend me on there, I do check every few days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you do get a chance, please have a check out my film and TV channel as well, which I try and inform and entertain on there, and all the latest films and TV drama here in the UK and from around the world. So if you can check that out, that will be fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoy today's feature. Right, our regular look at the match day programme. Yeah, we're going to look back at the perhaps the programme's better than the game turned out to be, but we'll have a look at the match day programme, of course, of Manchester City versus Southampton on the 18th of September 2021. Great image. I like the way they're doing. I did like the artwork a couple of seasons ago. It was okay, some of it was pretty rubbish, but I sort of simple pictures are quite nice, aren't they? I think that's a nice one of Gabby on the front of this issue of the Matchday programme watch. I'll have the details. If you do, say you can subscribe to this now, which has not been readily available with City over the past few years, but so I'll give you the details at the end anyway, but yeah, I'm not. The only little aside to that is I subscribed about 3 weeks ago. I've received my Arsenal programme, but I'm still to receive my RB Leipzig and obviously this Southampton one, which would be nice to get them before the game, wouldn't it? But say the RB Leipzig game is 4 or 5 days ago now, and I've still not got that. And I do buy them because I go to the games, but obviously I do like to have a nice pristine one because you get a little bit battered and folded up in the back pocket and stuff like that. So that's the only. But we'll talk about who does it later, and perhaps I have had a word with them and ask them why I'm waiting for an email back as to why things are such a problem. Perhaps we've got so much demand. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But there you go. Anyway, onto the magazine. That's a bit of an aside. Say nice front cover. Of course, we've got all the usual things. Pep's introduction, nothing special there. No controversial comments made in Pep's little piece in this magazine. The main little interview, they have like a 4-page article on one of the players usually, or I'm sure they'll have other people. But the main one is this week is Bernardo Silva. It's okay, some good facts, but not so much an interview, just more details and stuff, which you probably know anyway. So it's not the greatest in-depth thing, but it's okay. I mean, if you're a big Bernardo fan like me, you'd probably get something out of it. There's an interesting head-to-head. Yeah, they have a couple of usually try and get players in a similar position, and it's very, very good this week actually because they have got very similar stats. It's quite interesting to read because they've got a head-to-head with Cancelo of City and Kyle Walker-Peters of Southampton. So it sort of worked okay this week. That it doesn't always do that, but it sort of works out pretty well this week. A nice comparison between the two players. And of course, you got the play for both option in this, which obviously concentrating on players who played for City and Southampton. Obviously, the main thrust of this is is Mike Shannon. Is the main guy, and a great black and white image of him there in action. Not again. It would have been nice to see a black and white image of him in action against City, wouldn't it? But no, I don't think that is City. Looking at the players, I don't recognise anyone anyway. So that was nice to see. There's a great blast from the past as well, which looks back, and you get about 3 or 4 images usually of an old game. So it goes back to 12th of September 1981. I would have been at that one. Obviously, it was the season after the FA Cup defeat to Tottenham Hotspur, of course, and it was obviously the home debut of Trevor Francis. I didn't get to the away debut, obviously at Stoke, was it the away debut of Trevor Francis, and but I did get to his home debut where it was quite quiet actually, but it was quite a good get. A 1-1 draw it was against Southampton that day with people like Kevin Keegan were playing for Southampton, so that was quite a good day. Good crowd as well. I think it was over 42,000 there that day. Good atmosphere, and I say although of course Mr. Francis was kept a little bit quiet. I think he lasted about 4 games before he picked up an injury or something like that. But yeah, some great images in the blast from the past. I like those blasts from the past because they do the images in black and white, even if they were probably available in colour as well. I like that side of it. There's an okay question and answer. I can't get me. Sorry, it's Sunday morning after the Southampton game. I think my head's still a bit skew with today. My apologies as I'm recording this. There's a question and answer thing with, of course, Bradley Wright Phillips. Yeah, I started to read it and I thought, this isn't Shawnee, and I just hadn't looked properly. It was Bradley Wright Phillips, and it's only a page. It's not great detail. I'd like to see a little bit more detail, City, please. A little bit more in depth. If you're going to get Bradley Wright Phillips in to answer questions, get a little bit more on it. It's you get a little bit about America and what he spent a few years there. Obviously, I hadn't realised how long he'd spent there. But come on, City. I mean, if you listen, I know you're listening to this. The guys who put this magazine together, just a little bit more in depth. Have it as more of a magazine. If you want people to subscribe to this, make it just a titch more interesting. It's just getting a bit routine now when I'm doing these things. I like to see a little bit more different, and I'm looking for the positives. Of course I am. And there's a big positive in a minute who's in every magazine. But just a little, like I say, if you're going to have Bradley Wright Phillips sat in a room or on a phone or on Skype, I don't know where they got him when they're asking him, or perhaps you send him an email out with questions. I'm not too sure, but whichever way you're going to do it, make a little bit more in-depth analysis on it, please. That's all I'm asking. And that goes with most of the articles as well, of course. Kevin Cummins talks about his sessions he had photographing Billy Bragg, which is all right if you like that sort of thing. Some nice images of Billy Bragg. I don't particularly know much about the bloke, to be honest with you. And of course, my favourite piece of the City programme, great piece by Gary James, as ever. He's asking for guys for ideas for what he can do going forward. I thought, no, I'm not giving him all my ideas. I mean, I've got my own little things for history, but probably might be one or two things I'll sort of share with him that I wouldn't mind him having a look at, and sort of helps me out as well, if you like. But if you've got anything you want Gary to feature in the magazine, I'm sure he's got enough to go at, but just get in touch with him. But he talks about ground history, etc., and he talks about the transformation, of course, from Hyde Road to Main Road to the Etihad, and he remembers interviewing a guy called Harry Hughes when we transferred, when we closed Main Road, we left Main Road, and who remembered the move from Hyde Road to this massive bowl at Hyde Road to Main Road, of course, and I think there's a lot of similarities drawn between obviously moving from Main Road to the bowl that was the Etihad, etc., etc. And it's a great little read. I say they give him 4 pages, which is fantastic. And as ever, it's probably the highlight of the magazine for me, of the programme for me. Gary James. So I'll always stick up for Gary, as you know. And some great stuff. Very interesting. It is very interesting, as I say. And he does note that obviously there's 18-year-old kids who were there yesterday, and obviously younger, who don't know anything about Main Road. And if you think it was 18 years ago, obviously you're probably talking 23, 24-year-olds who don't really remember Main Road, even if they were taken there as young kids. So, Etihad's going to have its own history, its own memories. Of course it is. But, it was a good article from Gary. So, as I say, it's always worth buying, spending the £3.50 or whatever. I think it works out $3.25 if you subscribe to it. It's always worth spending that money just for Gary's stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. And that again, my favourite piece in the programme. Well done, Gary, mate. And it's just nice, as I say. It's just interesting very interesting article. Give it a read if you get a chance, whichever way, by buying the magazine or beg, steal, or borrow one off someone. Borrow someone else's if you need to, but please subscribe. Get hold of it. Rico Lewis from the under-18s. I don't know too much about him. Was interviewed, so I like to read stuff where I don't know the guys, but again, not too in depth. But it's nice to read these things, just the obvious things. Perhaps City do something a little bit more off the wall with these young players and stuff like that. Buzzer's back. Obviously, Buzzer's a regular, of course. Mike Summerby, and he does finish off with a little paragraph on how great the atmosphere at the Etihad has been so far this season. I certainly don't think it was any worse against Southampton. I thought it was excellent against Southampton. So thank you, Mike Summerby, for congratulating the City fans. That's wonderful, and that's just about it. But as I said, you can subscribe. As I said, there's a few. I'm not going to wholeheartedly recommend the service at the moment because I don't think it's very good, but I'm sure they'll get it sorted out. And as I said, if I get an answer to this email as to why we're having problems from Reach who actually put this together, who actually control this subscription, the things on the screen, obviously. I will let you know, but obviously at the moment I've paid for 26 programmes. It was too late. I subscribed too late for the first game of the season, obviously the Norwich game. So obviously I did get the Arsenal one about 3 or 4 days after the game. But as I said, as at Sunday, the 19th of September, I'm still waiting for my Leipzig programme from the Wednesday. And obviously, I'm still waiting for the Southampton one as well. I say I've got it because I go to the games, but that's not the point, is it? I mean, it would be nice to get these perhaps a day. When I order some away programmes, if I can't get to the away programmes, for instance, or I just order for a nice clean one, sometimes they come the day before the match, which is fantastic. But so there are problems, but the subscription information's up there, and I'm sure they'll sort it out. And as I said, I'll keep you informed if I get any information as to why there is a problem, because I know a couple of other guys on Twitter have said they've had a similar problem. So I will look into that for you guys as ever. Perhaps Pep will look into it for us, and keep him quiet. He's got nothing else to do, has he, at the moment? So perhaps he spent 10. Apparently, he spent, just aside for the programme, apparently 10 minutes with his team before the Southampton game. I think he was exaggerating slightly, but I'm just. There you go. That's how it is. It's hard life being a manager, isn't it? We should cut him some slack. I think we do. Anyway, but overall, the programme, not the greatest, as I say. Apart from Gary James, I don't think, as I say, I want to see a little bit more depth, a little bit more quirkiness in the articles, perhaps. As I say, if you do want subscribers, I mean, at the moment, if you're paying $3.25, I wouldn't say it was fantastic. Certainly, if you don't like history, I mean, I love history, so I do like the history things. But if you want a bit more information on the club and the players, etc., he's falling down a little bit. When the first one, I think I scored it a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, this is getting down towards a 5.5, basic 6 out of 10 at the moment. So, please, whoever does it, I know you're listening. The programme, just up your game just a wee bit. And of course, the subscription service, definitely up your game. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you've had a read through and you've got the programme, had a look through it, what your thoughts are. And I say, let's give Gary James our support and get him some ideas. He's not having all mine. He's not nicking all my horrible histories and things like that. He's not nicking all my ideas of what I do for my history vlogs. But I might. There is a couple I've thought of asking him about that I haven't got a lot of information on that. I won't mind finding out a little bit more. So anyway, it's there. Anyway, guys, let me know in your comments what you think. Thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a break. Have a break from football. I do sometimes, and watch my films and my TV stuff. Have a look at my film and TV channel where I try and inform and entertain on there as best I can as well. So please, if you get a chance, have a look at that. But all I ever say to you, please, until the next time, please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.